Welcome to Lotus on Track. Coming up, we've got a great programme of racing, including the Elise trophy from here at Snetterton. But first, we've got the Lotus Cup UK. Let's see how the drivers did after qualifying. Jamie, just been out for qualifying for the first race of this year. How did you get on?
Third overall and first in class, so it's a good result for us. It's where we sort of expected to be after the winter.
And you had a bit of a battle there with Rob Fenn?
Yeah, you know, we were top of the times for a long time. We just did 5 laps to try and keep the wear off the tyres for the race. You know, it's a first race of the year, is 90 minutes, it's long, so we just wanted to wear the tyres as least as possible, so set a time, let everyone else chase it.
And you're out on your own this afternoon. How do you think you're going to get on?
Yeah, sadly, unfortunately, Glenn can't be here this weekend due to work commitments. So, yeah, 90 minutes in the car on my own could be a long afternoon's work.
Michael, just been out for qualifying. How did you get on?
Yeah, I had a really good run. I got a little bit of traffic. We were unfortunate. I came out as the red flag came out and we were at the back of the queue, but managed to get a lap together and got down into the 203s and got pole, which is fantastic.
That's brilliant. And you made it up right in the last couple of the laps there.
Yeah, well, it's just trying to get a clear lap through the traffic, really, but it's a great effort from David as well, actually, because to get this car that he's running out of a shed himself and to be able to get it so quick is just fantastic.
And you're feeling hopeful for the race later on today?
Yeah, I think we've got a good chance. I'm definitely looking to try and get on the podium, and we'll just see how many cars are left after 90 minutes.
So Rob, you've been out for qualifying this morning for the first Cup UK race. I heard you had a few problems.
It's been interesting. Unfortunately, we found the ride height test in screw steering. We found our floor actually sags at either end, so although when the car's cold it's absolutely fine, once we've done a big stint like qualifying, we failed sadly, so the team are on it now up until the last minute before we're out again.
And do you think you'll be able to make up the places in the race in a little while?
It'll be interesting. I had a similar challenge at Brands last year where I started from the back, so it's a 90-minute race, you never know, with a safety car, as long as the car keeps in one piece, you never know, fingers crossed.
We're here for the first Lotus Cup UK race of the year at Snetterton. We've got a packed grid and, as you can see, perfect weather conditions, so let's see how they get on.
Grid stretching back as far as the eye can see, and a very fitting venue just up the road from Kettering Hall for the first round of the 2013 Lotus Cup UK. The team's ready on the pit wall as we take a look then at this gigantic field, which is headed up in qualifying by Michael Lyons in the 340R he shares with David Harvey. Rob Fenn alongside him on the front row of the grid, then row 2 Jamie Stanley and John Walker, then Andrew Bentley starting Adrian Vesters alongside Jeff Milam. Last year's champion Steve Train down in the 11th position in qualifying in his 211. He makes an all 211 row 6 with Simon Deacon beside him. Andy Napier well up in the production class. Craig Devon a little bit lower down than we'd normally expect to see him, down in 22nd, and Stuart Plotneck in 24th has regularly finished on the production podium. So 33 of them we saw in all in qualifying. Well, it's been a wretched day thus far for Benji and Freddie Hetherington. Whether or not they'll make the grid remains to be seen, as it's a rolling start as ever in the Lotus Cup UK. And Rob Fenn, who should have been there on the front row, isn't, so Jamie Stanley moves up, draw alongside Michael Lyons, an instinctive 340R as Lyons paces the field side by side, ready for the rolling start. When the red lights flash out, we'll be racing for the first time of the 2013 season. There is the red light on the side of the Marshalls gantry. Out it goes, and away runs the field on towards Riches for the first time. Very, very busy along the centre straight, charging up the slight incline, but it's Michael Lyons who's just got his nose in front of the exige of Jamie Stanley. Then we have got John Walker in his siege as well, trying to squeeze through to the inside the Evora of Andrew Bentley as they all accelerate out of Riches on towards the Montreal hairpin, where it's Stanley who snatched the lead from Lyons. Further back, it was all getting a little bit busy, but they're all cleanly through the hairpin as the front of the production field, where they're around a separate championship, of course, for the production class runners, and also then the rest of them are grouped into the Super Sport Championship. So accelerating then out of Palmer on towards the Agostini hairpin for the first time. Jamie Stanley consults his mirrors. He can see that Michael Lyons is thinking about diving to the inside, but he moves across, covers the racing line, accelerates out of Agostini on towards Hamilton. All very smooth, calm and collect at the moment. In car with Stanley through the quick left-hander. And he's got Michael Lyons swarming all over his tail in the 340R, and Lyons closes up onto his tail as they hit the brakes into what gives it a little bit of a twitch, and that gives Andrew Bentley, possibly in the silver and blue Avora on his tail, the opportunity to make this a three-way scrap for the lead as they accelerate onto the Bentley straight for the first time. Who is going to have the advantage when they hit the braking zone for Brundle Nelson's typical Snetterton shot, almost 3 wide as they arrive on the brakes into Brundle, and Jamie Stanley's coming a little bit too hot there and runs wide across the grass. Goes Stanley, he rejoins, he collects it very nicely, but Andrew Bentley takes the opportunity to dive through, take the lead. Bentley, who moved into second on the brakes into Brundle, now takes the lead of the race. They exit the bomb hole, accelerate on towards Coram Curve for the first time to the bright yellow car of John Walker. Is very much part of that fight. Jamie Stanley, though, well, that mistake hasn't fazed him at all. He's immediately getting himself onto the tail of the former BRDC single-seater racer, also former Go Cup racer, Andrew Bentley. The rest of the pack squirting out of Murray's and along the centre straight through to complete the first lap of the season. There's Rob Fenn, just got a glimpse, starting then from the back of the grid as Jamie Stanley and Michael Lyons run side by side through Riches, and Lyons doing everything he can in the 340R. Normally seen in the hands of David Harvey, who will be taking over for the second half of today's race, and it's great to see it so hard in the field. It ran right at the front of the pack a couple of years ago, the Lotus Festival in the hands of Ollie Webb, and David Harvey occasionally gets some very, very entertaining co-pilots to join him here at Snetterton. Michael Lyons, who is probably better known as both a contemporary GT racer and also historic single-seater racer, going very strongly in amongst the 211s. Then it's Marcus Jewell, the bright orange car, just ahead of Simon Deacon, number 39, both of them winners in the past in various Lotus races. So once more we see the first lap into Brundle. There is Andrew Bentley making his move. Jamie Stanley realises that the Exige hasn't quite got the stopping power he hoped it did. Runs across the grass, fortunately kicking up the dust, not the puddles, therefore able to get the car stopped fairly promptly. Andrew Bentley able to nip through and snatch the lead. Michael Lyons tries to do the same for second, can't quite do it. Now the big question is whether or not Andrew Bentley can make good his escape as we delve back into the pack. The fight for about 7th position. It's Ken Savage in the bright yellow Perry's car who's heading the way. Savage, who's invested in the 211 over the winter, he is moving clear Steve Train, and last of the cars in that group is the effervescent Tom Chataway. And Chataway, who's looking to do the entire 90-minute race duration single-handedly, doesn't want to push too hard in these early stages. All those 211s chasing the current class leader, which is the Le Mans racer Liz Halliday. So out of Murray's once more, on to reel off another lap, and there is Halliday in the 211. Bit of daylight between herself and Ken Savage now, and then the bright blue number 1 car, last year's champion Steve Train, and he's got Marcus Jewell right on his tail. Jewell, though, has had all sorts of reliability issues this weekend, so he'll be looking just to have a nice clean run as he dives to the inside of the Train as they arrive into Montreal. It's a really nice move there from Marcus Jewell, shows his experience. These cars they then arrive into the first of several left-handers at Palmer, of which is absolutely critical, because then you can also look to overtake into Exeter, which is maybe what Simon Deacon's thinking of doing. As we go back to the head of the field, Andrew Bentley has got Michael Lyons up onto his tail, which would seem to suggest that Jamie Stanley has been demoted. So Lyons and Bentley, 2 of the finest level national drivers in the UK. So is Jamie Stanley there in 3rd position. And he emphasises the strength in depth and quality of this Lotus Cup UK field. Accelerating then out of Williams onto the Bentley straight once more. Michael Lyons trying to use whatever slipstream is given off by the Avora of Andrew Bentley. Lights ablaze from Bentley, hits the brakes, swoops through Brundle and Nelson, and then that short squirt on towards the bomb hole. Lyons able to use the agility of the 340R to stay in touch. There's John Walker next along in the train. Walker's won many races over the years in Lotus Cup Europe, but upgrading to the Exige V6 Cup this year as we head into the production class, and it's being led at the moment by Adam Gore. That is Rob Boston's car from last year. You recognise the colours, but it's Adam who is the pilot this season, although he's sharing with Rob today. He's doing well. He's on the tail of Doug Setters in his Exige. So Adam Gore continuing the tradition laid down by Rob Boston last year. That car punching well above its weight. Hits the brakes into the flip-flop at Brundle and Nelson. He's got behind him Matt Bartlett in the Exige. through the bomb hole then. Bartlett, the all-black car, trying to chase down the production Elise of Adam Gore, as Michael Lyons got a good run here on Andrew Bentley, and he's going to go through. He takes the lead. Lovely manoeuvre into Oggy, slithers out a little bit wide. That gives Bentley the opportunity to look for the switch back. They draw side by side on the brakes into Williams. Swooping around again is Michael Lyons. That's lovely opportunistic driving from Michael Lyons. Now, Andrew Bentley might be able to use the power of the Evora here to draw alongside by the time they arrive into the braking zone for Brundle. That's exactly what he does. Lyons tries to dispute the matter around the outside line, can't quite do it. Again, he'll try and pressurise Bentley into making the error. On the exit of Nelson, nothing doing there. Bentley, very consistent and smooth driver, a difficult man to overtake, although Lyons is giving his very best shot into Coram Curve. Again, trying to force his way through to the inside, then slithering to the outside, the ever-tightening Coram. As we take a little bit look at the 2:11 battle with Ken Savage in the Perry's car on the tail of Marcus Jewell, pushing very, very hard in pursuit of Liz Halliday. Back to the leaders then, and Andrew Bentley still with that ever-present shadow in the form of Michael Lyons. Looming large on the tail of the pair of them is Jamie Stanley. On to the anchors for Montreal, and through into the race goes Michael Lyons. Beautiful move. Andrew Bentley gave him a car's width. That's all that Lyons needed. Dives through, snatches the advantage from Andrew Bentley. Bentley trying to fight back as they sweep through Palmer for accelerating on towards the hairpin at Agostini. Rob Fenn continues to carve his way up through the pack. We will take a short break from Snetterton. Join us in a couple of moments' time for more Lotus on Track action.